All right, time to take a look at the Lagatuns Brushless Motor Cordless Impact Wrench. Brushless is important for me because that means that the battery is going to last longer, it's going to have more power, and because there's no brushes in it, that motor is going to last longer. And on top of that, you're not going to get that nasty smell that you sometimes get with brushed motors. So brushless, that's the only type of tool that's worth getting in this day and age. But on top of that, this is a 627 foot-pound impact wrench. That is nuts. Now they're saying that you can use this to take off your tires. I have no doubt in my mind that you can use that to take off tires. To put that in perspective, an axle nut is going to be rated for around 300 foot-pounds of torque. So this thing is insane. This is designed for removing like really seized on nuts and bolts. Anything that you're having trouble getting, even with like a long breaker bar, this tool is just going to make easy work of that. Okay. This is a big monster impact wrench. So we can see it is properly marked brushless, so we know exactly what it is when we pick it up. The handle is somewhere between a plastic and a rubber. It's not quite a soft rubber, but it does still feel really good in the hand, so I like that. Good feeling trigger. We got our forward and reverse switch right here, and it is just a big monster of an impact wrench. We can see that this is a 1/2-inch anvil, and it is using a hog ring, but we also have a slot in there for our pin and O-ring sockets. So if you want to put a socket on there and you don't want to worry about that thing falling off, you can use that pin and O-ring, and you can just make this thing a dedicated tool for that. Okay, oh, look at that. So this is a big honkin' 4 amp hour battery. That's on the higher side of battery, so this thing is going to last a long time. It's also 21 volt. Most of them are 20 volt. This one actually steps it up a little bit. We do have a battery level indicator, so that's good. I always like seeing that. And it comes fully charged, so they actually care. That's nice. We got a push button locking clip, and we've got 2 contacts, and there's also 2 contacts in each contact. So you don't have to worry about this thing heating up. So I like seeing that. And this is kind of interesting. The battery itself has a almost rubbery material on it too. So that's nice. That's a very good design. And here is the charger. See, we got 2 lights. We got a green and a red, and it does have mounts so you can put this thing directly on a wall. And that is a 2 amp charger. Oh, look at that. We got a strap. I'm not really sure what this is for. Is that for the case? There is a little loop right here, so maybe they're intended to be able to like hang this thing over your shoulder or something like that. It looks like you could interface that with here, so maybe if you were worried, like if you want to climb up a ladder or something like that and you want to be in OSHA requirements. I mean, the fact is it does have a tether spot here, so we could attach that and make sure that we're not dropping this thing. So kind of cool. But we also have 4 sockets, and the interesting thing about this is they actually have that O-ring and pin design built in. So just so you know what I'm talking about, there's a slot right here for an O-ring and then a hole that goes all the way through, so we can take this pin, drop it through that drive, and fit our O-ring over top of it. So that is going to capture that pin and make sure that this socket never falls off. This one is a 19 millimeter. We also have a 21, a 24, and a 27. And these are all chrome vanadium. And looking in there, we can see that the hex goes fairly deep. We also see that they are drilled down in the corners. So these are for off-corner loading, which is excellent. It's the only way they should be. So yeah, these are fantastic sockets. Wow. Okay. So on the bottom, we got a push button so we can swap between high and low. So if we want a little bit more control over our speed, we got that option. So I like seeing that. And yeah, this is a big beefy tool. Like just holding it in your hand, it's lighter than you would expect, but it's still plenty heavy. Like this thing is designed for doing work. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that is just easy mode. Does not get any easier than that. Now, here's the thing. What you don't want to do is be tempted to try to use this to put those back on, because if you do, you could warp the rotor. Now, they do make what they call torque limiters, which kind of looks like an extension, but it's going to reduce the amount of torque that this can put out, so you can use that to put this on. But the best thing to do is to put this on and then use a torque wrench and put it to the proper torque. But if you need to get a nasty nut or bolt loose, there is no better tool than this.